Welcome back. Well, a new whistleblower from the Internal Revenue Service is claiming that the Hunter Biden probe is being mishandled and is now seeking protections to share the information with Congress. Meanwhile, IRS Commissioner Daniel Werfel refusing to acknowledge the probe into the president's son during a private meeting with finance senators yesterday. Joining me right now is Americans for Tax Reform President Grover Norquist. Grover, great to see you. Thanks very much for being here. We talk about taxes all the time, and we know that there's a probe into Hunter Biden's taxes. We don't have more details, but they've been sitting on this probe for about 5 years. Your reaction?
Well, finally, we have one person inside the IRS that's doing it right. He's found something very bad, very troubling, very illegal, and he had his lawyer write to the leadership in the House and the Senate and the relevant committees, I want to come and present this to you, that under the laws that we have for whistleblowers, he's following the law. He didn't give it to his favorite journalist. He's not leaking it. He's taking it to the Congress and say, you need to know the law is not being followed. Now, he hasn't said it's Biden, but others familiar with it say it is Biden, and the Attorney General is the person who misrepresented, lied to Congress about what was going on. This is very important to follow up on, but we really should have a lot of respect for this IRS agent who's playing it by the book. And where was somebody at the IRS when Obama was using the IRS to destroy the Tea Party movement by not allowing, for 3 years, not allowing a single conservative group to get organized legally under the nonprofit statutes? I'm sorry, one got done, in 3 years. That was the political use of the IRS at the highest level. No whistleblowers then.
Well, that's just incredible that we are watching the weaponization of our federal agents and our agencies right in front of our eyes. And you're right, it started with Obama. That's what Mark Penn wrote in his op-ed recently as well, the race to the bottom. But I want to get your take on the tax issue of this White House and how it impacts the American people, because there's a new New York Post op-ed. It's from Stephen Moore last week, actually, and it highlighted the investments are going to be taxed at 86%. And President Biden's tax plan is basically going to kill investments. It's going to kill enthusiasm for people to make investments because he wants to tax unrealized gains. So if you buy a stock and that stock goes up during a year you're talking about, you get taxed on it even though you didn't make money on it. I spoke with the Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget President Maya McGinnis on this Tuesday about the president's tax plan. Here's what she said. Watch.
They're not talking about spending cuts, and nobody's talking about reforming Social Security and Medicare, which you and I have talked about forever. Let's be direct about this. You have to reform these programs. There is a level of taxation where it is so clearly counterproductive and chokes off growth and chokes off investment. It's not realistic. It's not doable. There will be no political support for it.
So, Grover, what do you think? Will he be able to get this through 86% on some on some people because of their unrealized gains?
The good news is that a Republican House will not vote for a tax increase or the tax increases that Biden wants. Almost every single Republican has taken the pledge, and they're not going to break that pledge that got them elected. But as you point out, when you tax unrealized capital gains, when you tax capital gains at all, you're taxing inflation. And this administration, perhaps 10 years ago, that didn't seem like such a big deal. But with this administration increasing inflation as it has, it makes the tax on imaginary gains, inflation, very, very high. The president wants to take the capital gains tax to twice China's, twice as high as Communist China, back to Jimmy Carter territory. He wants to take the corporate income tax higher than Communist China, back to where Obama had it. I mean, the individual income tax goes back to highs that we haven't seen since '86. These tax increases are not unprecedented. They go back to periods of real damaging levels of taxation where, on a bipartisan basis, the capital gains tax in '78 and the individual rates in '86, they were cut by Republicans and Democrats because they were so damaging. Biden wants to go back to where it was that damaging, and he adds the inflation, which makes the tax on gains that much more painful because the real capital gains is being taxed at as high as 86%.
Unbelievable. But, I mean, how else is he going to pay for his climate change agenda? I mean, let's face it, Grover, that's what this is about. He needs money to pay for the climate change agenda, doing away with fossil fuels and investing in solar and wind and other energy efficiency type of energy.
His real goal, you don't get more money by having higher income taxes. You just slow the economy down. His real goal is a carbon tax, and through the carbon tax, a value-added tax. He wants us to look like the European Union, like France, where you have 20–25% sales taxes, value-added taxes on everything. That goes directly to the middle class. It's very, very painful, but it's the only way to get the money for the spending plans that Biden and the Democrats have.
Right. All right, Grover. Great to talk with you as always. Thank you so much.
Maria.
Grover Norquist joining us this morning.